All right, so let's start on working on the functions for our WebAuthn registration or credential registration. Okay, so let's first though pull up the server application as well for reference because we do need to decode a response from it. So right over here, just to show you, the first API endpoint we want to hit is the sign up API endpoint. So let me go back. That was not the response. So all right, so right here. Okay, so pretty much when we hit the sign up API endpoint, our server is going to return a public key credential creation options right here back to our client or our iOS app. So right over here, this is where we will be able to check to see how the response is structured. So we could create a response type or sorry, response model on our iOS side to decode the response. Okay, so let's see right over here. As you can see, if we go down right here, this is going to be our variables that we need. Okay, so let's go back to our iOS app. Okay, so the first function we will create will be for our register user credential WebAuthn. So we'll do func register user credential to WebAuthn. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. Comment these out so we don't get any duplicates. Okay. All right. And then we'll have an anchor for our AS presentation anchor or UI window. All right. And then username parameter. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. And then just open it up. Okay. So first thing we need to set is our anchor. So we'll do self dot anchor equals anchor. Okay. Actually, it's a little confusing. Let's rename that. So we'll rename this authentication anchor. That replace that. Okay. All right. Okay, and then the next thing we need is to have our parameters. So this would be the username. Okay, so username. So this is what we will be passing back to our server. Okay. All right. Okay. So first thing we first API endpoint that we're going to hit is going to be the create user API endpoint. So we'll use Alamo Fire to make the request. Okay, and we'll pass in create user API endpoint, and for each method, it's going to be a get. Just to show you, this is the get request on the sign up. Sorry, allergies going really bad today. All right. Okay, and then next parameters, our params. Okay, and then once we make that get request, we'll get our response data back. All right, open that up. Do response data in, and on this part, we'll do a switch statement, right? So do a switch statement on our response data, response, and if everything goes good, okay, so we'll have a cases, right? So case 200, if everything goes well, this is where we will handle our next API endpoint, which will be our make credential get API endpoint right here, right? So let's add the rest of our cases in the meantime then. Okay. Case 409. If we have a conflict, this is where we will present the user an alert in the create account view controller. So we'll use that from our NS notification later. And then case dot sum. Just put this blank for now. So if we get other response statuses, we will just print out in our debugger. So we'll just put response or other response. Okay, and then in case we get nothing at all, we'll just print no response. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, wants me to fill in something. Let's see. Hopefully the error goes away. Yeah, perfect. And semicolon here. All right, perfect. Okay, so next, let's add our the URL request in our case 200 where we will handle the next API get request on the make credential. So if everything goes well over here, this is where we will hit the next API endpoint will be our make credential where we get our public key credential creation options back. So for this one, we will do fire request, then we'll pass in our registered begin API endpoint. Okay, and then this is going to be a get response data. Okay, and then open it up. Response data in. Okay. All right. So let's unwrap our registered data or our response data. So let's do if let data equals response dot data. Okay. Hopefully that should be good. Let's see if there's any issues. Okay. No, not here specifically. Okay. All right. So once we unwrap the data right here, this is where our public key credential creation options will come out. So in the meantime, though, we could stop right here since we still need to create the begin WebAuthn register. Actually, no, yeah, we could keep going. So let's unwrap it first, or safely unwrap it, and then decode it. So we'll do a do catch here since we need to decode our response, right? So let's go back to our public key credential creation options. Okay, right over here. Okay, so just show you right here. This is going to be the properties that we will need to create the public key credential creation options struct in our iOS project. So let's start, yeah, going back to our iOS side. So just to show you, so challenge needs a user, relying party, public key credential parameters, uh, time out in milliseconds, and attestation. So to go back, we can create this. Let's separate this. Let's create a new file, Swift file. And we'll call this begin WebAuthn registration response. Okay. Oh, forgot I had one already. Oh, actually, yeah, I had one previously already. Let's see. Okay. All right. Just show you right here. Just makes it easier then. Okay, so let's pull this aside so we kind of compare them. Okay, so as you can see, mirrors our properties right here. We have our relying party, which will be RP, timeout, which is our timeout in milliseconds, attestation, and our public key params, which is a model type of public key param, which we have right here. Let's just show you why we broke it down like this. Let's see if I can find it here. All right, there we go. It's down here. Have our type and alg. Okay, and then our relying party is type of RP. Believe on this side. Let's see, relying party. All right, right there, public key credential relying party. The entity. We look into it. Let's see. Sometimes Xcode is a little buggy. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, right there. See, ID and name. Right there, ID and name. And our user is our ID name and display name. Okay. User. ID name, display name. Right over here. All right. So this will be our response. And this is what we will decode our response back from our server into this model. So just to go back and expand this back up. Go back to our WebAuthn account manager. Okay, so let's do let register data response decoded equals, and we need to put this in a do catch block because this can throw an error. So we'll do a try JSON decoder dot decode. So our begin WebAuthn registration response dot self, and then we'll pass in our data. Oops. Data. Okay. All right. And from there, on the catch block, we could just put print error decoding the response. All right. And I believe that should be good. Other than that, we will just fill these out later when we add those NS notification alerts to present to other view controllers when there is an error responding. But yeah, so pretty much if we successfully decoded our register data response, then we will use that decode response to move to our next step, which is to register our or generate our passkey and create an assertion request. So we can do that and create the function for that on the next video.